on Retro Recipe Remix, we're making pumpkin cookies.
Yay! Out of this lovely cookbook. All right. And this recipe makes a ginormous batch, so we're gonna, I think, cut it in half, which may require a little math, which I was never good at in school, but gonna take a stab. How many does this make normally?
6 dozen.
6 dozen.
That's a lot of cookies. And a lot of baking time.
Yeah.
And we're too impatient for that, so we're gonna try and have it so that we have 3 dozen instead, which still is a lot, but not.
But we have roommates. They'll eat them, indeed. And I'm on dry ingredients, so I will figure that out. Now for the original recipe, it says 2 3/4 cups flour, so we're gonna do half that, which is 1 1.5 quarters, which is 1 1/4 and 1/8. Okay, okay.
Long nails are great for getting things out of the top of cans.
Okay, I'm gonna open our flour because yours is the top is too small.
I'm gonna need the measuring cup.
Go.
No, but you do it first because
oh,
you dry
first. And you only have one set you have to share.
You have to prioritize.
Dry ingredients first, wet second. What did I say?
1 1/4 and 1/8.
That's right. That is what I said. 1.5 is, oh yes, 3/4 of a cup.
That's the half and the quarter. Yes.
Because there is no 3/4 cup.
No, that would be too many.
Too many cups.
Too many.
It's already enough. It's already enough on
Way
this.
too many at the moment.
It's like a janitor's keys thing. And it says pack the brown sugar, but that's as packed as I feel like making it. And it doesn't tell you that you have to sift the flour that you put in, so it says you can just scoop it straight out of the bag, the jar, whatever it's in.
Which is good, because I don't think we have a sifter.
No, we don't. So it's good.
That would be an inconvenient step if it was necessary.
So this is 3/4 of a cup of pureed pumpkin, and then with an addition of 1/8 of a cup of pureed pumpkin. If you are doing the crazy unnecessary math because you don't want to eat 6 dozen.
6 dozen.
6 dozen
cookies.
All right. Now
it's too many cookies.
I almost want more sugar in this, but I have no idea how these cookies turn out, so that's an unreasonable desire.
Well, you can be generous with your sugar because I'm being generous with the pumpkin. So
okay. I'm going to put a little extra teaspoon of sugar in because it's staring at me like it wants to be more. Alright,
pumpkin.
Okay, now I'm happy. That's good. That'll do.
Now the great thing about these cookies is that if you don't make the full batch, you have leftover pumpkin puree, so then you kind of have to make more pumpkin things.
Yeah. That is
like
if you buy
pies.
the giant cans.
That's true. I'm sure they have smaller cans.
Yes. This is our like Costco-sized mega can of pumpkin puree.
This can is not messing around.
No. Because we plan on doing pies and cheesecakes, I think my roommate is, so woohoo.
Okay, so that was 3/4, now I need an 1/8. We don't have an 1/8 cup.
So fill that one halfway.
Halfway!
Yay! Measuring, not our strong suit,
Nope.
not a thing. Nope.
It'll be fine.
What's next?
That's approximately half-ish.
Blending dry ingredients requires, oh, also doing, I'm on spices then, yeah.
Yes, you are.
Okay, so this would be a 1/4 teaspoon nutmeg if you're doing a half batch and measuring, but instead it's me shaking it until I'm done. That's good. Looks great. And this would be half a teaspoon of cinnamon, but it's just this.
So I'm going to add an egg to my pumpkin. And I'm not going to let these things fall off.
All right.
What else?
At least the eggs were easy to measure.
The eggs were really easy to measure.
It was 2, it's now 1.
We got that one down.
Okay.
Oh, there's no trash bowl this week.
No, I haven't. No, trash bowl. Last week we did not effectively put in our video how much I love having
discuss the trash bowl.
a trash bowl.
She loves the trash bowl.
I love it. I love it. I'm gonna put it here. It's just so handy, not having to like run around the kitchen and go over to whatever trash can you have and they're smelly, and this way it's all neat and contained and you can dump it at the end.
So the recipe calls for half a cup of shortening. We don't have shortening, but we have butter. So
and
half
butter
a cup
tastes
of
better.
butter, it does. Half a cup of butter is a stick. So since we're doing a half of the recipe, we're only going to use half of the stick of butter.
And
Firm.
Yeah, it's cold. I took it out of the fridge.
I'm going to grate this like we did last week.
Can we do that? Yes, we should do that.
We
The
can do
grating
that.
worked so well. She liked the grating.
The grating did work really well.
Okay, and I'm in the meantime adding to our dry ingredients In the original recipe, it's 1 tablespoon baking powder. In this, it's got to be a half tablespoon, which they do not have a half tablespoon in here. But fortunately, I happen to know that a tablespoon is 3 teaspoons. So half a tablespoon is 1.5 teaspoons. Yep, it is.
Where's the grater?
And it's very important to measure baking powder and baking soda. Anything that's causing your ingredients to react. Like I fudge around with the spices, but that's because they don't affect the rising of the cookies or the spreading or the crust or the crisp or whatever.
Just the flavor.
But anything that affects the chemistry of the cooking, you really want to be tight on the measurements.
Now, one of the downsides with grating butter when you're not prepared for it is that this happens. It gets kind of gross looking. But we'll persevere anyway because
last time it was chilled in the freezer, so it was easy to grate. This time she's getting just softened, moisturized hands. So. Buttery.
Butter.
Now I'm going to chop some pecans because the other chunky ingredients in our delicious cookies are raisins and chopped pecans. All right. Chop pecans. Oh, did you toss in the raisins?
I
she
did
tossed
toss
in the raisins while I wasn't focusing.
No.
But I trust her. No.
Didn't when my back was turned.
You're a raisin hound.
I just like.
Okay.
I like raisins. They're good for you.
Are they? No, they're like sugar candy, but in fruit form.
They're good for you.
What do they have? Sugar and what?
It's fruit. It's good for you.
It's technically fruit.
It's good for you.
Sure. Okay. And yeah, I'm gonna drop in the pecans. Does that look good?
It looks delicious.
I chopped them into like roughly quarters, something like that. You don't want huge chunks in your cookies, depending on how small or large you're making them, because these are drop cookies, so they can be, any size, I think, really, but enough to contain your pecan halves or quarters. Oh, and it says half teaspoon of salt, so, just
grind.
Salt. Okay, that's good.
Good enough.
Good for me.
Okay.
Close enough for Jazz. All right. Dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun. And this one says stir until well blended. Like some cookies and some, waffles and cakes will tell you only stir a few times or until just combined, and then it's like a very delicate, you don't want to overmix process. This is just stir until it all comes together. So, does not seem to be a huge deal for this recipe. And then it says drop by teaspoonfuls onto an ungreased baking sheet, which I have here, not greased, following directions, and bake 12 to 15 minutes. Ooh, that's so much shorter than the dumplings.
That is so much shorter than the dumplings.
Way better.
So the pumpkin puree adds all of the liquid that you really need.
Oh yeah, because this does not spray like
pretty
milk or
great.
water.
I was getting a little worried there, but
no, it looks pretty.
It looks
very much like
good,
cookie dough.
Actually,
very much exactly like cookie dough. Only
yummy.
A lovely orange fall color. Yay!
I think we're pretty much done here.
All right, excellent. I will throw them on.
Now this one does have egg in it, so you probably shouldn't eat it.
But she's gonna.
But I'm going to.
But she's gonna, because it's delicious and we like to live on the edge. Alrighty. Hopefully these don't merge together and make one giant cookie, which I did do the first time I was trying to make chocolate chip cookies with my mother's amazing recipe. I had no idea how close together cookies couldn't be before they melded, and so I ended up tossing them in, waiting the appropriate 10 to 12 minutes, and coming out with this big, goopy cookie. And it was just, it tasted good, but it was a disaster. You can only feed it to one sad person, and that was me. So, read the instructions if it tells you how far apart to put the cookies, which it does not.
It does not. We're guessing.
We're guessing. All right. Cookies laid out, and into the oven they go. Would you help me out here? Darling.
I guess.
Thank you.
If you need it.
Woo! Hot in my face. Every time.
Okay. So we're gonna put them in for about 10 minutes and check periodically.
Because I tend to burn things and this oven is angry. We are going to blend 1.5 cups of sifted confectioner sugar, which I'm not gonna sift because
We don't have a sifter.
we don't have a sifter and I don't care. And 3 tablespoons of soft butter. And we're going to stir in 1.5 tablespoons of cream, and in this case, cream is going to be bourbon, and 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. Are you doing that with a fork?
Yes.
I guarantee you they meant for someone to do this with a hand beater. That
Yep.
would work like way
We don't have a hand beater,
faster and better.
do we?
Do you have a hand? No.
I didn't think we did.
Yes, yes, yes. Yes, 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 yes. Cookies, cookies, cookies.
I'm just gonna get out of your way.
Oh, thank you, darling. Alrighty. Oh, they're such a pretty color. Look at that. And those look like pumpkin. You can tell those are pumpkin flavored. All right, time to decoratively blob on some delicious bourbon icing on our mostly cooled cookies. So if the icing melts a little bit, I'd rather have
It's okay.
the warm cookies. Now, for the important part, the tasting.
Do you want to split one or do you want to have one each?
Let's split one.
Okay.
I don't have enough for upstairs people. All right. I
Which
choose you. This one looks cute. Okay. I'm going to split it. I have a knife. Cookie?
Cookie pink.
All right. I love it with the pecans. Oh, I love anything with pecans. I think my half doesn't have any raisins.
Mine has the raisin. Well done.
Yeah. I split this well.
It's good. They're really soft and kind of doughy because of the pumpkin puree.
Yeah,
and
very
and
doughy.
the bourbon really goes well with it. It's really bourbon.
The texture is excellent. It's really bourbon.
Really
but in a
bourbon-y.
good way. You can always use cream, like the recipe said, instead of bourbon for the icing. But you know, why would you do that? Yeah, I think these are good. I recommend these as well. All right, you want one, cameraman?
Uh-huh.